Hello, my name's Adam Shaw. I'm the founder of the Healthy Heart Academy and the creator of the Active Energy System. I'd just like to thank you for joining me and taking your time to find out more about this brand new system. I've found that there's certain symptoms in life that can affect our health, and they slip in a little bit earlier than people would like or even appreciate. And these symptoms can lead to far more serious disease. These are the pre-warning symptoms when your heart starts to communicate to you that your body may not be in as good a shape as you like. Now, just to point out that your body is actually a community of over 50 trillion cells. And when your heart doesn't like what your head's doing, when it doesn't agree with the stuff that your head is putting out there, it starts to give you symptoms so that you start to pay attention. Some of these symptoms I've found include low motivation. So if you've reached a point where you don't want to get out of bed in the morning when the alarm goes off and you think, oh no, not this again. Or if you are finding that you can't sleep properly, if you're finding you're more stressed than usual, if you're finding that your relationships are starting to suffer, your personal relationships, your family relationships, and even your work relationship. If you're in a job that you don't love, that can create low motivation, low energy. It can affect quite literally every aspect of your life. And I hadn't just worked with thousands of people that had these symptoms that led up to far more serious disease because their community of cells all started to protest. And when that happens, those symptoms can present. So in order to improve your situation, improve your community of individual cells, and to stop this rebellion, it's important to get in touch with what your body really wants, with what your heart really wants. And the active energy system is designed to help you to do that. Now, it does this through a couple of methods that are amazingly simple and yet very, very powerful. The first major thing that we have to consider here is if you've ever been to a lesson or to a workshop or to a seminar with life-changing information, but you never got the result. Well, that's quite often because we learn by association. So if you're sitting down physically and active and you learn this wonderful, wonderful information, even listening to this video, I might tell you some wonderful information. But if you're sat down and you're physically inactive, you're associating it with doing absolutely nothing. So what the active energy system does is get you to associate everything that could change your life with physical activity. So you get to use your walking time more productively, whether that means when you walk around the house, whether you walk around the shops, whether you're walking your dog, whether you're walking to work. Whenever you're walking, or even if you take just an extra 5-minute walk a day around the housing estate that you live in, whatever it is, you can use that time to increase your focus, your energy, and your motivation. But more importantly, you can use the active energy system to get in alignment with what your heart wants you to know. Because your heart is constantly communicating with your head. And if your head doesn't get it, it will make more and more unpopular decisions that lead to all of the symptoms that I pointed out in this video. Now, I haven't just looked after thousands of people who've had these symptoms and got a very deep understanding of people's motivation and the blind spots that so many of us have with our health and well-being. I've realized that there's certain habits that people know that they've got and they maybe shouldn't or they could give up. And this creates a vacuum of guilt. Well, I found from somebody who is considered by some a health and well-being expert and doesn't lead an incredibly healthy lifestyle. Because there are certain habits that I had that I could be considered unhealthy by experts in the field. But guess what? I do like to go out and drink occasionally. I do like to go off the rails occasionally. But I always balance it with certain practices that make my health above average for somebody my age. So it's all about balance. And if you like to go out drinking, if you like to smoke and you're not ready to give it up yet, if you like to have that bar of chocolate, if you like to go and have that pizza, if you like to indulge in certain habits which may be considered by purists as not quite so healthy in the field, then the active energy system can bring you balance. What it does is add something to your life which gives you something healthy, so that if you're going to do things that may not be considered entirely healthy, then you've got something else in your life that can balance it out. So what the active energy system effectively does is remove guilt from your life, or at least removes more guilt from your life. And an interesting thing about guilt anyway, in the Tibetan language, guilt doesn't exist.